All right, how's everybody doing? Man, I am still alive. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk I would have made it this long? But, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling a little bit in control. Feeling like a little bit of the fog has kind of dissipated, at least somewhat. You know, I don't feel like I completely escaped, but I feel like I, at least at this juncture, survived Dancing with the Devil. It was a really good song by Immortal Technique. I forget what it's called, but maybe it's called Dancing with the Devil. But if you ever get a chance to listen to it, it's really good. It's dark, and don't go into it thinking it's not dark, because it's really, really weird. It's dark and it's weird, but there's a really good lesson in it. I had a really nice Mustang and a really good sound system in it, and I played that song for this girl. I kind of just met her at school, and I was like, "Oh, you guys, listen to this really cool song." And I showed it to her, and man, it freaked her out. So just be careful. It's a weird song. So, at any rate, I'm feeling pretty good. I got my gym membership. I'm about to hit the gym right now. I haven't gone to the gym for like 8 months. I'm 120 pounds. I've lost about 35 pounds, what I usually walk around at. So, it's time to rebuild. It's exciting. I mean, I still have a little bit of muscle left, but it's just so skinny, so like cut up, or not cut up, but like, I don't know. I'm gonna try to get cut up. I'm not gonna bulk this time. I just want to cut up. Now I've broken it down to, I'm like all the way broken down to my base, so I have no extra fat or nothing on me, so I might as well just keep what I got and just get stronger as far as the gym goes. But I hope everybody else is doing really good. I kept trying to leave the place I was at, or like the environment I was at, and whenever I'd leave, I had like this really strong desire to come back. I thought that was God telling me what to do. He wanted me to come back to that place, or come back to my son, protect his mom, and be with there, or do what I can and provide for them, or whatever. And so I kept thinking that God wanted me to come back, because I kept having this pull, and I couldn't recognize what this feeling was. And I think I finally understand what was going on, and it seems like when people leave somewhere, or they're gonna leave an environment, gonna leave what they know, you get like this really strong urge to go back to what you know, back to the environment, back to your home, back to your area, back to your clan, back to your country, back to your church, back to your your tribe, whatever it is that you think you need to go. And it's because it's risky business leaving that. And so unless you have a really strong desire, something really strong to overpower that, then there's no reason to go back. You shouldn't do that. So that's what I think with this pull was. I don't think it was necessarily God telling me what to do, but it's this natural pull to go back to what I know, because it's all I've known for the last 11 years is taking care of my son, and pretty much dealing with his mom. There was a while there, like 4 years, where I didn't deal with his mom at all, and I was just going to school and stuff, but all I did was take care of him during that time. And so it's just like this pull, and finally I realized that that's not, it's not God wanting me to do that. That's just that natural pull that people have. And so like I kind of understand, I guess, domestic violence people, like women, I was like kind of down. I'm like, why would you go back to that kind of thing? And I don't think necessarily it's the guy so much as just what they know. It's just like this natural instinct that you really don't understand until you feel it, and it's just like this desire to just go back, even though you don't really want to. So I'm hoping that I can kind of fight this time and get through it and push through it and do what's right for my son, and do what's right for his mom. It's always so hard to know what that is at times. It's not so cut and dry. But I think I'm learning. I think the Lord is really showing me a lot of different things. And, I'm growing and I'm learning. I'm just glad to be back at the gym, man. Man, it's going to be so nice to start again. Can't underestimate how the difference of going to the gym every single day or 5 days a week and not going to the gym at all, the difference of what it makes in your life. Any guy, it doesn't matter. This is just night and day. Doing really good. I went down to the place today, and I got my EBT card, and it was nice to be able to get some food in the car, man. I haven't had had that for a while, and there's a couple ladies there that helped me at the place, and they're just really nice, and it's nice to see pretty girls, man. I tell you, it's it just reminds you that it's just there's more than just one option, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's not nice to see pretty girls because they're so tempting. It's like, uh, you know, the thing is, there's only so many pretty girls. Only a few of us lucky guys get them, and the rest of us just have to like want that. Kind of sucks. But it seems to me a lot of the pretty girls that I see around or that I know, they don't just choose one guy. They seem to bounce between many guys, and I don't blame them. I just, why not if you have the ability to? There's no real consequence for it, societal consequence, and there's just a lot to gain for multiple people. So if you have the ability, why not, I guess, right? Well, I mean, morally it's so messed up. It destroys all the guys, it destroys everybody in that area, and destroys everybody involved, destroys all the families, but as far as like on the surface, just looking at it, not looking deeper into it, why would a girl not do that? But all right, we all grew up in the school system, and it's like, oh, sex is fine, doesn't hurt anybody, multiple partners is okay, jerk off all you want, masturbate all you want, doesn't fucking matter, porn's fine, totally natural, da-da-da. But then you get older and you have the consequences of such things, and it turns people into sexual deviant monsters. And then with that like urge and all the pros of being promiscuous, you have quite a messed up societal thing, and then you have all kinds of issues. But it is what it is, and we are where we are, and I just hope that I can find a path that's worth following, that's different than what we have right now, because what we have right now is just messed up, man. There's no real solution to it. There's no real way out. There's no, best way of living. Jeez, so whatever. I'll get strong again, but it's all right. I'm just excited, man. Excited that cylinders are functioning. Oh, one thing I want to talk about last video that was really interesting, that kind of I know something I've been kind of thinking about working on for a long time, and really interesting. So this one's hard to kind of process because it's a lot to it. So I'm kind of start from the beginning and then work my way through and tell you guys where I'm at. And if anybody can add to it or follow along, man, I appreciate it. So, all right. So I think that or a lot of people have kind of come to the realization that you are separate from your soul, and that can be proven. And the reason that your body and your soul can be proven separate is because if you think in your head, you can think anything you want. You can think any kind of thing, like the sky is blue. You think that in your head. So when you're thinking in your head the sky is blue, you're in your head, so you're not using your voice and you're not using your ears, but nonetheless you're still talking and you're still hearing. So you're still exhibiting, or you're still exuding, or you're still exuding, or something's coming out of the thought, because there's also you're just thinking it, and then something also is hearing it as well. So there's no ears and there's no mouth, and there's nothing like that inside your brain, but still you're still hearing and you're still thinking, you're still listening, you're speaking and you're listening inside your head. So there's something completely separate than your body that's going on in your head. So that's your soul. Okay, we've come to this conclusion. Most people can understand that. If you can't quite understand that, maybe you can look into a little more. If I'm not explaining it to a way that you can grasp, it's kind of a thing that you can probably find online somewhere else, somebody explaining it a little bit better, or a little bit way that you can articulate in a way that you can understand. So all right, so get to that one. All right, first step, got that. All right, great. So now we have this entity, or we are a soul. We're thinking inside of our body. That's what we are, right? So that's great. But the problem lies in there's also other entities around us: spirits, demons, archons, whatever you want to call them. There's different things around us that also have an influence, that also speak, that also exhibit or exude or whatever, put out some kind of something they're talking, or some kind of thing they're doing, whatever kind of communication that you thinking that whatever that process that's going on in your head that is going on. And so they're communicating, the little shoulder, or the little devil, the little angel on your shoulder, and so they're communicating with you, and they're speaking the same way that you're thinking. That's the same kind of frequency that they're communicating as well. And so you hear these things on your shoulders and your ears, but the thing is, a lot of people don't recognize them as separate entities. They think them as their own thoughts. And the reason they think that their own thoughts are the reason that hardly any of us can distinguish between them is because there's no difference of sound inside your head. So there's no way to tell between your own voice in your head and the demon on your shoulder and then the angel on your shoulder. So you have at least 3 different competing, influences on you. And then, Freud would call it the id, the ego, and the superego. They've tried to explain this in psychology. I'm a psych major, didn't graduate with my bachelor's, but I was like 3 classes under, and I got my AA, and I got everything done. I just didn't do my last 3 classes for my BA. And I just didn't I was signed up for them, but that was like 6 months ago, and that's when things started to get rough for me. And or not rough, but interesting at least. It wasn't rough. It was fun, man. In the last 7-8 months, they've been fun, man. Like, it's an adventure. I mean, there's a lot of down to it. There's a lot of hard part to it, but adventures are fun, man. Especially at the outside, looking back, surviving them with at least mild repercussions. At least not so far yet. Who knows the long-term effect of consequences of such things, but at any rate, so you have these 3 different competing voices in your head, right? And so nobody really knows what it is. Psych people explain it different ways. Id, ego, super ego. Oh, excuse me. Allergies are rough, man. The struggle's real. Excuse me. I don't know how that sounds on the video. Ugh. I don't really edit my videos, so I apologize if that sounds atrocious. Maybe I just need to relax for a second. All right. So we're at the 3 different voices, or I don't want to say 3 different voices. People think I'm crazy. The 3 different maybe influences. We can call them the id, the superego, and the ego, which you have in psych. You have the ego and the superego. Those are the competing things that they call, and they describe it in a lot different, not a lot different, but a little bit different. If you dare describe them as the angel or the demon on the shoulder, any kind of psych professor will jump down your throat, because how dare you, So at any rate, we have these 3 different things, right? And so the problem lies is that nobody really knows if it's your ego. We'll say this: nobody knows your id, your ego, your superego, or if you want to say that yourself, your soul, the demon or the devil or the angel on your shoulder. Nobody knows when you're having an idea or when you're thinking about things, you're making a decision, which one of these 3 things are actually speaking. And so a lot of people think that an idea is, this is my thought, and they don't know. And so it's just really, really important to distinguish between whatever is inside you that's trying to benefit you, and whatever is inside you that's trying to take you down, bring you down. And so you just can't always trust everything that you think or your own thoughts, which is kind of scary, but it's true. Like, you just really can't trust it all. And now, if you take it to the next step, where I'm at right now is where I'm trying to kind of figure things out, is that now if there was an angel, let's just say hypothetically that the angel and the devil or the demon are on your shoulder, right? And then you have your soul, and you have these 3 competing different thought processes, or these 3 different competing entities that are vying for whatever decision is to be made. Who speaks first? Which one of these? Because there's only one you hear at one time. You don't hear multiple at one time. It's just one thought. It's just like one tunnel. Like, it's just tunneling all in one information. So there's just one observer, and you're the observer. There's just one observer, which is you, and each person gets their, or each thing gets their turn to give, put forth their thought, their idea, their reasoning, and you the observer gets to listen to one at a time and then make the ultimate choice. Now, which one goes first? Now, I think that depending on where your walk in Christ is depending on which one goes first. If your walk with Christ is close, and you're right with God, and you're doing everything right, and you're reading the Bible, and you're right there, and your walk is solid, then the angel always goes first. And even the time that the demon has that whole negative side has might be completely, minuscule, might be, minute, might be very little, and the opposite might be true. Whereas if the more that you spend away from Christ, the more that you distance yourself from God, the more that the bad things get, the thought process, the more they get to talk, the more powerful their voice is. And I think this has, I think there's a lot of quiet merit to this reasoning. And so I don't know. Obviously, I'm going off a limb. There's no hard science to back any of it up, but it's just kind of something I've been thinking about for a while and kind of building on. And think there's quite a bit of merit to it, so it's very interesting, to me at least. But I'm just happy to be here, happy to be able to go to the gym soon, happy to have my belly full, happy to have, God taking care of me. He's giving me, a lot of gas this time to get to the next gas station, and it's feeling good, man. It's feeling good. I just really miss my son's mom a lot, and I just miss my son already. I haven't seen him for like a day or so, and everything's good except obviously that aspect of things. And I just hope that I can do what I need to do to make their lives better. And that's the hard part. That's the goal, and that's the it is what it is. So, at any rate, I hope everybody's doing good, and I hope everybody's able to do what the Lord has planned for them. Because we have free will. We have free will, and we have to make our own choices, and we have to live by those choices. We all have our own choices to make. Anyways, God bless and happy truth seeking.